cry over coffee beans the way that I cry over marijuana, it's because you can still get really good organic coffee. They haven't tainted coffee the way that they've tainted all these other things that were otherwise really, really healthy. Thank you for the turn signal, even though it wasn't necessary because the lane, anyway, you saw it. You saw what it did. I do it too. Whenever the lane turns into another lane. We appreciate your communication though, Honda Odyssey. We appreciate it so much. A lot of people don't know how to do that these days. It's funny they have these phones that supposedly make it easier to communicate. And it's harder and harder for people to communicate about everything. All the stuff that we do, we think it's going to make our life easier, but it just complicates it. And any complication is going to make it harder on principle. That's why women think they have it so much harder. In a way we do, because of the fact that our brains complicate every motherfucking thing. It's just that we're not a victim of half the shit we think we're a victim of. But because of this mentality, we put ourselves in situations that make us what? Like a shrink's office. I got into somewhat of an argument with a fan of mine last night over antipsychotic medication, neuroleptics, how do you say that? Neuroleptics. I was put on Risperdal when I was in a psych ward, but I was only in the psych ward for like 4 days. They kicked my ass out because I didn't need to be there. They tend to not want people around if they know what's wrong with them. So I've been kicked out of a psych ward, I've been kicked out of a psychiatrist's office and a psychologist's office and a therapist's office. So I'm pretty accomplished. Well, back in the day that wouldn't have happened. They would have just fucking stuck me with shit, drugged me, and forced me into a padded room or something. But like these days, if you're self-aware enough to be able to like talk about your condition and seem relatively stable, like they can't mess with you because self-awareness speaks for itself. Literally. You know, if you're a conscious person and you know what's going on with you, nobody can tell you what's what. That's why saying that somebody's in psychosis, that is like totally wrong because like we as a society cannot deem if another person's in psychosis because we're not that person. You know, like, oh, that person isn't behaving in a way that's in conjunction with reality. But it's like, what's reality though? Reality is a total fucking illusion. Like whatever we're told reality is, that's what we believe. Okay, use politics as a fine example of this. Fox News and CNN are working for the same pieces of shit. But the people that watch CNN think that everything on CNN is true. And the people that watch Fox think that everything on Fox is true. They're two completely different narratives that are spun by the same fucking pieces of shit. And these same people live in the same country. Okay? Like I said, America is the divided states of psychosis. Did I say that before, or did I just think I said that before? I think that accurately describes the way that this country functions. But you know, I'm not mad that this happened because of politicians and the TV and everything. It's so easy to just blame the higher ups. But it's the minions that don't value themselves as people. It's the minions that don't think better of their bodies and their brains to not get put on medication that makes them impotent or bereft of creativity, unable to cry, unable to come, unable to work, unable to sleep. What can you do? What can you do since you decided that pills were the answer? But I'm just utterly disgusted by the way that people pretend to function. They look at somebody like me that has their own method, their own approach to everything. I think for myself, I feel for myself. I might seem like I'm not in charge of my emotions, because I'm moody. Honey, like, that's just part of it. You know? You're gonna have mood swings. That'd be really weird if you were just like this all the time. The fact that people would rather be that way, like, they're literally choosing to be boring. How can you have respect for people that choose to be boring? So instead of relying on yourself to, like, regulate it, that's what you're supposed to do as a human being. You're supposed to figure yourself out. The subject of mental health is so contentious, you know, because it's only going in one direction, and that direction is coercive control. It's always been that way, though. Long before psychiatry, you know, all they have to do is, like, tell people what reality is and what is acceptable. And whatever people deem unacceptable, whatever they're told to hate, they hate. Whatever they're told to love, they love. People don't have any actual emotions. They talk about mind control a lot. They don't talk about emotion control. Like, they fucked up your neural pathways to the point of no return. And there's not much that can be done about it. Especially when they got all these motherfuckers hooked on the brain food that they get from social media. And the social media that's in their pocket all the time that they have constant access to. Oh no, that's not a total recipe for disaster. That's the thing. People like me, no wonder we can't be trusted. Because we saw through this bullshit from the fucking jump. But no, it ain't nothing to brag about. Why would I brag about it? People just think I'm in a state of psychosis. I'm actually in a state of neurosis.